Today, in our New Mexico State Aggies Dynasty, we crown a college football champion. The Aggies put their undefeated record on the line against college football powerhouse, the Oregon Ducks. The Ducks are obviously perennial contenders every year, while the Aggies are clear underdogs but are here for a reason. It's been a long season and the Aggies have won every single game, while the Ducks come in at 14-2 with 2 losses on their record. But these two teams will duel it out, and what better way to wrap up the season and the series than under the lights here in Dallas, Texas in the national championship game at AT&T Stadium. The Oregon Ducks obviously boast an impressive roster, though they will be missing their top defensive player and DN Salisi Manu Maluena. He will miss the game after breaking his fibula in the regular season finale against Michigan State. However, they still have a great player in their secondary and corner Ife Adebuego. The 6-foot corner has great speed and solid cover skill in both man and zone, and his counterpart, Tony Pedrino, the Godfather, is a 4-star prospect from Florida who also has blazing speed and even better man corner than his counterpart Ife. However, he does have some weakness in playing zone coverage. Their field general will be quarterback Jason Wilf, the junior quarterback from Bellflower, California. He's your typical Oregon QB with good speed and elusiveness, but isn't extremely accurate from the pocket. The one-year starter threw for 3,900 yards and 37 touchdowns this year at the helm. His number one target will be wideout Ryan Pelham, the senior from Long Beach, California. No surprise, he also has top-end speed to complement his great hands and good route running. He will be a handful for the Aggie secondary tonight, and let's see how this defense fares against a high-powered offense like the Oregon Ducks. Well, the stage is set, and the 2029 College Football Championship game is on. Alex Wingfield's at 1 yard deep from the end zone. He takes it out, but he's only able to get out to the 17, and the Aggies drive start there. Again, they had a great offense, converting 55% of their third downs and had 545 yards per game. Aggies take over and they start the drive from the 24. They look to get their number one receiver involved early, and Dom Dorwarth, he squirts through and he sees green. 50, 40, 30. He's eventually pushed out of bounds after a big gain. Great play to kickstart the game. However, on 3rd and 4 from the 25, Wilson's going to look for Dorwarth short, and there's a collision at the ball, and he can't hold on to the pass. Aggies are forced to settle for 3, but they're going to end up opening this game with a 3-0 lead after the field goal. Oregon drive now, and we get our first look at this electric offense led by Wolf, who will need to know where the defensive player of the year DJ Warner is at all times. First and 10 from 38, Wolf's going to fake the handoff to Adam Muhammad, and then he's going to fire to tight end Trayvon Cole to pick up 16 in the first down. Next play, another play fake, but Wolf tries to bail from the pocket quickly, but is brought down by defensive tackle Jamie Polk for an Aggie sack. Big number 99 comes through on 3rd and 9. Then the QB's worst nightmare, DJ Warner, comes through for his first sack of the title game, and that ends up being a fumble, and the Aggies take over with a quick sack fumble turnover to kickstart the college football championship game. Aggies drive midway through the first quarter. Wilson's going to change the play, and then he's going to throw it to the outside to Dom Dorwarth, who makes a nice sideline pitch and catch. A few plays later, 3rd and 9. Wilson drops back to pass. He's going to look for Dorwarth again, but the pass is jumped and nearly intercepted but falls incomplete. Aggies settle for 3, now leading 6-0. Oregon drive now at the 40. Will actually hands it off to Muhammad this time. He bursts through the middle, shoves the defender off like he's a little ass boy before being tackled down at the 26. Later on 3rd and 4, Ducks try to throw for it, but the pocket collapsed and star defensive end Malachi Tayase brings him down for the sack, 3rd of the half. But Oregon finally gets on the board as kicker Darren Steelman nails the field goal for 3. Aggies drive now, only leading by 3. Wilson changes the play, and on 3rd down, he throws it short to Bita, but he fell short of the yard to gain. But the Aggies line up to go for it. Backed up at the 34, Oregon gets good push, and Deshaun Humphreys gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Turnover on down, and the Ducks take over. After the turnover, Wolf fakes the handoff, and he finds offensive tackle Fox Crater wide open in the end zone. He hauls it in for a touchdown. Ducks capitalize off the turnover and score the first touchdown in the game. Aggies now find themselves trailing first time in the game. Wilson's going to find a Abita on a bubble screen, and he runs it down the field for a nice 20-yard gain to jumpstart this drive. They end up driving all the way down to the 1 yard line, and Deshaun Humphreys takes it and powers through the goal line for a touchdown. Aggies put up 6. Nice bounce back drive to get 6 here, taking a lead before the half. 13-10 going into the break. Aggies have outgained the Ducks through 2 quarters on big plays, but that one turnover has allowed Oregon to get 6 after struggling for most of the time on offense. Still, these teams only separated by 3, and we're 2 quarters away from crowning a champion. Aggies got the ball first to start the game, so the Ducks get it out the half. They start their drive from the 25-yard line. Wolf changes the play. They look to establish the run, and that's a handoff to number 24, David Martinez, who dashes past Hayase and outrunning another defender, tackled for after an 18-yard gain. But the Aggies stiffen up on defense. On 3rd and 4, they bring the heat, and linebacker Derek Briscoe powers through the O-line, bringing Wolf down for another sack, this time ending the drive. Aggies take over, but they're backed up after a penalty. On 1st and 19, they set up a screen, and it's executed perfectly. Deshaun Humphreys with 2 big maulers in front of him. He picks up 21 and the first down. They look to feed him again on 2nd and 7. They hike the ball, and he's going to take the handoff. He's going to go down the left side, and once again, he's got a convoy in front of him. He dashes to the outside. He stiff arms a man, and eventually tackled at the 16-yard line. However, the Ducks find themselves backed up, but they stiffen up, forcing a 3rd and 15. Aggies look to try to set up another screen, but Oregon was ready for it this time, and Wilson has to eat it for a sack, stalling the drive, and Aggies tack on 3, making the score 16-10. Late in the 3rd now, and the Ducks look to start to put the pedal to the metal. Wolf's going to fake the handoff. He's going to come up and throw a laser up the middle to Ryan Pelham, picking up 20 yards. Few plays later from the 45, another play fake. This time it confuses the defense completely, and Tyler Power wide open downfield, and he scores easily. Ducks quickly put up 6 just before the end of the 3rd quarter. Still late in the 3rd. Aggies take over at the 15. They're going to look to continue to feed Humphreys. He takes a handoff. He squirts through the middle, but he puts the ball in the turf. It's a fumble, and Oregon recovers it. Crucial turnover by the Aggies there. However, the replay does show it was a very, very close call. It actually looked like his knee was down. The Aggies decided to challenge the play, and it ended up being overturned, and they ended up keeping the ball. So they maintain possession, and they take over at the 30-yard line. After almost fumbling, they abandon the run and goes to the pass, and Abita squirts through on a bubble screen, and he picks up a first down. Now on a 33. They drop back to pass on 3rd and 1. Wilson's going to look to try to get Abita again, but this time it's picked off by Ife Abekwu, who made an impressive spinning grab, taking it away from Abita, giving the Ducks the ball back here with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. However, the Ducks backed up after the pick, and they decide to go to the ground when Muhammad takes it off the outside and bursts through the hole, picking up big yardage, getting some room for the offense. Aggies defense feeling the pressure. They decide to dial up the pressure, sending more than Oregon can block, and Corin Johns comes through for the sack. They get the Ducks then in a 3rd and 14 from the 24. They again line up like they're going to send the blitz. It comes. They blow up the screenplay, and the Ducks have to punt it back to the Aggies. Aggies take over at the 40. Down 1 with 7 minutes left before a champion is crowned. Trevino comes in motion. He takes a pitch off the right side. He picks up 2 blocks. He gets down. He's tackled for a first down. Aggies get the ball all the way down to the red zone. On a 2nd and 7, Wilson's going to change the play. He takes a snap. He's going to throw a strike, and that's Caden Trevino, who makes a great sideline catch. And on the very next play, Alex Wing's going to take the handoff. He powers through, and that's an Aggies touchdown. They take the lead with just over 2 minutes left to play. Aggies offense clutches up and gets 6 when they needed it the most. However, they were only up 5, and they decide to go for 2. Wilson takes the snap from empty. He's going to try to throw it short to Abita. He hauls it in, but he's stopped short of the goal line, and the score remains a 5-point lead. Oregon now needs 6 to take the lead here in the championship game. The drive starts from the 25. Wilson takes the snap from empty. He gets good protection and finds David Martinez on an out route for 8 yards. Next on 2nd and 2. The Aggies line up like they're going to send pressure. Wolf's going to change the play. He's going to hand the ball off to Muhammad, but he gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and that's a 1-yard loss. That sets up a 3rd and 3 from the 32. 2 minutes exactly left. Wilson takes a snap. He throws it quick, but it's jumped and intercepted by Jacoby Campbell, who makes a crucial play for the defense. great turnover there as we're under 2 minutes left and the Aggies take over possession in plus territory. But the Ducks were not quite out of this one yet. They get the Aggies in a 3rd and 7 from the 50-yard line. Duarte comes in motion. He takes the pitch. He's got a convoy in front of him. Then he sets green. 30, 20, 10, and he's finally tackled down at the 6-yard line, but there is yellow laundry on the field, and it ended up being a holding on the offense, and this great play is brought back. After the penalty, the Aggies were forced to punt the ball away with just a minute and a half left, nursing a 22-17 lead. They field the ball, and the Ducks bring it all the way out to the 24-yard line, and that sets up the game-winning drive with no timeouts left and a minute and a half left. They line up an empty. Wolf's going to get the drive started with a quick check down, and that picks up 8 yards. They hurry to the line, and on 3rd and 2, a minute 10 left. He's going to change the play again. He takes the snap. He gets good protection. He's going to line up, and he finds a tight end up the middle, and that's going to get a first down. But once again, time is running as they have no timeouts. They take the snap on 2nd and 10, and that's a great catch by David Martinez on the out route. They rush up to the line, and on 2nd and 10, Wolf's going to take the snap. He finds Tyler Parrott. He turns upfield. He beats the defender, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line. 40 seconds left in this one. 1st and 10 from the 29. The Aggies send pressure, and it gets home. That's a sack by Elijah Baldwin. They have to rush to the line and spike it. 3rd and 16 now with 28 seconds left to play. Martinez goes in motion, and then Wolf gets taken down once again for a sack. Ducks have to sprint all the way back to the line of scrimmage, and on 4th and 21, 15 seconds left. Wolf gets protection. He throws it up. It's knocked down, and the New Mexico State Aggies are national champions. What a title run for the Aggies here, as they had an absolute gauntlet in the college football playoffs. They're crowned champions at the end of the season. Representing the Pac-12, they come through and beat some of the best teams in college football. We officially took a 1-star team to the top of the college football mountain, and we get to host a trophy here at the end of the 2029 season. I'm going to wrap up this series here, as it's been a great roller coaster, and with college football 26 now officially out, tune in for our next series in the new game, and thank you guys.